is there a possibility that could happen, and will you let that happen?
Well, I don't think it's up to me to let it happen. I mean, those bills are they're non-starters, basically, as far as we're concerned. And I think it's ultimately up to the governor, who supports our position on rent, to let the Senate know unequivocally that he intends to sit and negotiate a three-way bill with them, and if they don't do what's appropriate on rent, on tax cap, that it's that important to the governor that they'll be back here in special session if necessary in order to deal with those issues.
So where do things stand in talks right now? Are we going to have something by tomorrow, or is it likely the Assembly will have to pass an extension in order to get?
Well, what's interesting, a lot of noise is always made about the legislature being unable to deal with timelines. And we did a timely budget, and both Senator Skelos and I were showing the public, yes, we can live with timelines. And I think this issue is no different. We have to live with timelines, and tomorrow is the deadline. And I would suggest that just like a budget, tomorrow you have to act on a meaningful bill. Otherwise, you are basically saying it's dysfunctional, and that's not something we want to say.
So the Assembly won't pass an extension to Friday?
The Assembly has passed a bill, actually. Actually, over a month ago, we passed a bill which dealt with an extension and with an enhancement of rent regulation. I would suggest that the Senate should sit down at the table with the governor and us and hammer out an agreement on this bill.
Okay, so no extension then?
Well, I don't want to deal with the issue of extension. The governor should send an emergency bill as he would with a budget if, in fact, there is no agreement among the parties at the appropriate time. And I would suggest that the extension or the agreement or whatever you want to call it, we're here, we're ready to work. The Assembly and the Senate calendar say the last day of session is Monday. If you can't do it by tomorrow, then you should do it by Monday.
Okay. So has the Senate just not been showing a willingness at this point, even at the 11th hour, to sit down and really deal with you guys?
Oh, the Senate has been sitting, but, clearly they aren't hearing anything if they can introduce of the variety of bills that they've introduced. It's not anywhere near what we've been talking about.
Okay. And also, I just want to, everything that's happened with gay marriage, get your reaction to the 3 Democrats that have finally joined the rest of the conference, and even Senator Alisi, a Republican, saying that he will vote for gay marriage. Are you optimistic this is going to happen?
Well, I think what's important to note is, the Assembly has passed the marriage equality legislation 3 times in the past 2 years. Assemblyman O'Donnell has been out front on the issue, brought the issue to the public's attention very, very positively. The governor, to his credit, has picked up that ball and collectively have made this an important issue in the state. The governor has apparently gotten enough votes in the state Senate to have it passed in the state Senate, and I think that's a tribute to the governor and in being able to move his agenda. So collectively, I think that there will be smooth sailing on the issue.
So you're certain, from what the governor says, that the votes are there in the Senate?
Well, I would have to think that he's always said he wouldn't introduce the bill unless he knew the votes were there. And he's at the point where he's ready to introduce the bill. I take him at his word that the votes are there.